What's going down? Wrestling in the Basement. I'm Thor, joined as always with Kyle Olson.
What's up?
It's been a while. We haven't done a show since Post Mania.
Yeah, just Post Mania.
Yeah, so we've had a little bit of just a few things have happened since Mania.
A couple things.
Just, a little show called Money in the Bank.
Money in the Bank.
This thing you might have heard of called Double or Nothing or something. I don't know, some AEW promotion, something like that. A
guy getting a huge farewell from WWE and then showing up on someone else's pay-per-view.
There's a lot to get into. Let's start with Double or Nothing because that's the most recent of events, excluding Raw from last night, and SmackDown this week hasn't happened yet. So we'll start with AEW's Double or Nothing, their first inaugural pay-per-view that happened on May the 25th, last Saturday. I unfortunately have not seen it. I have seen bits and pieces, and I do know the winners, and I know the stuff. My man here, he watched all of it though, so he's going to kind of break it down as we go through it. Yeah, you watched every minute.
All of it.
I watched 20 minutes of the Battle Royal and saw like a handful of clips online. So, yay me.
Yeah, so the buy-in is free on YouTube.
Yeah, you can still watch that.
So you can still watch that. It started with the Casino Battle Royal, which was a choice they made. I really think it hurt the Sammy Guevara Kip Sabian match coming on after the Battle Royal. Because it was a good match, but it wasn't fantastic, the Sammy Guevara Kip Sabian singles match. And so really the highlight of the buy-in, the pre-show, was the Casino Battle Royal. There were a few problems with it, but
it wasn't super clean. I like the format of they come down in groups of 5, and then the one last person who's like the wild card.
Yep.
So like you get each suit has 5, whatever, you know what I mean? So they come down in like 4 suits.
Yeah.
And then groups of 5, and then the one final person for like the lucky 21. So I like that. I like that format, but yeah, it wasn't from what I watched, I wasn't like, oh my God, I need to rush home. Well, I wasn't home, I was out in Iowa, but I was like, I need to rush somewhere where I can sit and watch this on my phone, hiding in a corner from family members.
Yeah. Yeah, and I think that's what if the Casino Battle Royal would have come second, and you get number 21. So they did it. It was 21 person Battle Royal, and 5 people started the match, and then every 3 minutes, I believe it was, the next suit of cards. Like they drew cards, and there were 5 hearts, 5 diamonds, 5 spades, 5 clubs. I think the clubs started. I don't remember what the order was. But the diamonds were the first one, and it was notable members in that set were like MJF started the match.
Okay.
And he was kind of the most notable one in that first grouping. But then you had like Billy Gunn and Jimmy Havoc and Joey Janela, and number 10, Sean Spears.
Ty Dillinger from WWE, Sean Spears. I saw that.
Yeah, him coming out as number 10, which they joked online because the video that they posted had no one was supposed to reveal their cards.
Okay,
but the video they posted had him revealing the 10 of diamonds. And it's like, he wasn't supposed to do that. It's like, yeah, but it's Sean Spears. We needed him to reveal that.
That's funny. They did. I thought there wasn't like a crazy surprise name in the Battle Royal.
No, it was like some nostalgia, like Tommy Dreamer came out, like Glacier came out.
Yeah, that was weird.
Like Dreamer coming out was for the hardcore fans, like, wait, you've got Dreamer, Joey Janela, and Jimmy Havoc in this match. And of course they go crazy against each other because Tommy goes back, grabs the trash can. Joey Janela was lighting up a cigarette, and then Jimmy Havoc stapled it to his head.
Yeah. They were. I was surprised there were like metal fingers being thrown around a lot in this. Yeah. Like it's definitely not a PG. Like I don't think they're going PG, which is weird because TNT. I mean, they're going to be held to You know,
I was gonna say, I'm like they're gonna have to clean this up for TV.
standards and practices are coming at you.
Yeah, like I think we can't have as much. There wasn't that much swearing, but yeah, it's like middle fingers being thrown everywhere. We'll get into it. A lot of blood.
Yeah, a lot of color.
A lot of blood, but weirdly enough, like TNT was fine with that when, like,
that was 30 years ago.
That's true.
It was not 2019.
But now they have a bunch of TVMA shows.
That's true. Well, it depends on their time slot. If they go on 9 p.m. to 11, you know what I mean? Something like that. Then we can get into that later. But yeah, so were there any other big standouts of the Battle Royal? Oh, Adam Page. Because
Adam Page was the Joker because
his match with Pac got canceled.
Yep, his match with Pac because apparently Pac quit. Rumor has it that Pac was supposed to win that match, but then he was going to lose to Omega, and he didn't want to lose to Omega because he has that Dragon Gate title still.
Is he kind of becoming a diva in the wrestling industry? People were really behind him after the WWE stuff.
Yeah.
And if he would have just stuck it out, Enzo self-imploded, he would have been fine, I think. But yeah. I don't know. Now after this, I'm like, is he a problem?
Weirdly, I think part of it is he's almost too loyal to Dragon Gate.
Okay.
Because his entire kind of persona in Dragon Gate is that he's the undefeated bastard and all that. And so Dragon Gate is his priority, and he's taking other bookings outside of it, but he doesn't want any of those stories to conflict with the Dragon Gate story. So pretty much as long as he's got that title, he wants to not lose on outside dates.
Yeah.
But
then you got to understand that handcuffs bookers booking you in on other things because you have to have a W.
Yep, it's been a problem in Rev Pro because all of his matches against like Zack Sabre Jr. and stuff like that have ended in either disqualification or count out. His match with Will Ospreay was a no contest. Like, I guess
you can have wonky finishes, but then those are less satisfying and those get old after time because you can't lean on those. But either way, so Adam Page, because of all that, was the final man in the Battle Royal.
Yep. In which the Battle Royal was to determine basically the winner of the Battle Royal will, at a later date, it has not been determined, but most likely is going to be All Out, is going to take on the winner of Chris Jericho versus Kenny Omega to determine the first AEW champion.
Omega Jericho from that night. Okay. Yep. And so the winner of the Battle Royal.
Yep. The winner of the Battle Royal was Hangman Page.
Kind of saw that coming once he was
you saw that
last
coming.
man. That was kind of a little predictable, but not a bad thing.
It was fun, and the last person he eliminated was MJF, which will come into who play later.
Right.
And then we had a little vignettes with the two librarians, which if you've been watching Being the Elite, like it's Pretty Peter Avalon and Leva Bates, who got picked by Peter Avalon got picked by the Young Bucks as their version of the librarian, and then Leva Bates got picked by Kenny and Cody.
Okay.
It's gonna be really the weirdly enough the standout of that was Kylie Ray, because they were interviewing Kylie Ray backstage, asking her about her matchup later in the night. And she got interrupted by Pretty Peter Avalon, who then got interrupted by Leva Bates. And they're both on either side of the corner of the camera. And then Kylie's just in the middle, just smiling and not knowing what's going on the entire time. And it's like...
That sounds awesome.
Yeah, Kylie Ray is, especially after this night, she's my favorite. She's great.
The production looked really good.
Yeah, the production looked really good. There were a couple snafus here and there.
Okay.
It was just like cutting to the camera at the wrong time and that kind of stuff. But my roommate actually pointed out, who was the one I was watching this with, he really liked how they did the like replays at the end of the match. and it was literally just no slow-mo like WWE does, just here's this spot, here's this spot, here's this spot, here's this spot.
WCW used to do that.
Yep.
They used to do that at the end at the end of the match. They'd literally give you like a shot, pretty much all the major spots from that point of the match. That's cool bringing that back. That's gonna
it was
that's
really
gonna help them.
cool. It was really beneficial. In the later on, we'll talk about the Young Bucks versus Lucha Bros match.
Okay.
But yeah, and then the second match was Sammy Guevara versus Kip Sabian. It was a fun match. Like I said, I think it kind of got hurt by the fact that it was after the Battle Royal.
Okay.
And so the crowd, I think at that point, just wanted the show to start.
Right.
And it's
or
like,
they were taking that break before, before the show starts, going getting, food, bathroom,
yeah, it's
whatever.
like, oh man, that was awesome. Okay, then what's gonna go on? Right. I don't know. I gotta go get some popcorn.
Go buy some merch.
Yep. Oh, there was probably so much. I haven't heard yet, but I'm sure because they almost sold $1 million worth of merchandise at All In.
Yeah.
And it wouldn't surprise me because there were almost twice as many people.
I wonder if they let the independent wrestlers sell their own shirts there.
I'm wondering how the setup was because I didn't know anyone that was at the show. A couple of my friends were trying to get tickets but weren't able to because it's sold out in a half an hour.
It's a hard ticket to get.
Yep. But then the show proper started with SCU versus Strong Hearts, which 6-man tag. So SCU, Christopher Daniels, Frankie Kazarian, Scorpio Sky, the Strong Hearts, which was Shima, L. Linderman, and T-Hawk, which it was just a super fun, nice, quick opening match to get the crowd pumped up, and that is. At this point, that's SCU's role.
Okay.
Of no, they're going to pump the crowd up because they're super entertaining and really good. They pointed out on commentary. So commentary for the pre-show was Excalibur and Alex Marvez.
Yeah, I was going to say, I didn't hear Jim Ross on the...
Yeah, Jim Ross joined for the main card.
Okay.
And Excalibur was fantastic. Jim Ross actually sounds like he's motivated again, which is great. Because when he got really into it, it felt like that JR of old.
Okay.
Especially in the Cody versus Dustin match. It felt like a classic Jim Ross call.
Well, he knows the names. It's not like his New Japan run where it was a little
yeah, well, and even that, you could tell. And I think he really liked working with Excalibur.
Yeah. Because
he could lean on Excalibur to do more of the play-by-play, and he could be kind of the storyteller, which is a great role for Jim Ross. And then apparently the plan moving forward is Alex Marvez will be more of the statistician.
Okay.
When they lead, because this will be the team for TV.
Okay.
They've said.
Yep.
And that will be Marvez's role will be more statistician and breaking down on stuff like that.
Well, because wins and losses are going to matter. They're going to have a wins and loss record. Now, I don't know if that'll be an ever running or if it'll reset every year.
Yeah, that they haven't said so far on that.
But I mean, they did announce before even Double or Nothing. They announced that they will be on TNT, a weekly show starting in August or September, starting in the fall. They haven't announced the name yet.
Yeah, they haven't said an official date or which day of the week it is.
Right.
They've got that.
But it's the Tuesday Night Dynamite.
Tuesday Night Dynamite trademark, but
and SmackDown's moving from then to Fridays.
Yep, it could be Tuesday or Wednesday from what I've been hearing. Okay. Because Wednesday avoids all the NBA games for the most part.
Okay. Yeah, because that becomes a problem.
That'll become a problem.
Yeah.
Not so much during the regular season, but especially during playoffs. Because TNT, that is their bread and butter.
They get a lot of them point. NBA money, so they're definitely not going to put wrestling over NBA at this point. There's little difference in the viewers.
Yeah.
numbers, that is.
Yeah, and demographics and everything too.
That's very true.
Then the second match was of the main card was and SCU won with the best Meltzer ever.
Okay. The best Meltzer ever.
Yeah, it's if you haven't seen it, it's Tombstone pile driver, much like the Meltzer driver of the Young Bucks is a Tombstone pile driver with a 450. Springboard 450 from Nick Jackson. The best Meltzer ever is Frankie grabs into the Tombstone, and then Christopher Daniels does the best moonsault ever, up and over, which is awesome.
That's all right. I'm in.
It's such a cool move.
I'm gonna watch this as soon as I have the time. I'm gonna find a way to watch it.
So the 4-way, the next match was originally slated to be a triple threat. It was Dr. Britt Baker versus Nyla Rose versus Kylie Ray.
Okay.
They all make their entrance. Kylie makes her entrance first, cries during her makes her entrance, does her pose, pyro goes off, she starts crying. And it's like, oh, Kylie, I'm so happy for you, because she was just in town in March.
Okay.
And is super awesome. Didn't get to talk to her much, but like super happy for her. And you can tell how much she loves wrestling, because like that was the breakdown of like, oh my god, I just got a pyro entrance. This is so cool.
That's heavy.
So the three of them get in the ring. And Brandy Rhodes comes out, and she on being the Elite, she has said that this match, like, she's literally said to all three of them, "I think you're gonna win. You're gonna win this great match. This match is gonna be great. This match is gonna be terrific." And then she says, "I didn't want this match to be terrific. I want it to be awesome." And out comes Awesome Kong.
Wow.
Like making her return to the ring after, I want to say it's at least 5 years.
Whoa.
5 years, but she is still in, like, there's no ring rust.
Really?
There's no ring. Well, she's also, known as Kia Stevens, one of the actresses on Glow.
Oh, yeah.
So, and is actually very pivotal on that show because she helped train everybody on that show. Like her and Chava Guerrero pretty much helped train all the other actresses to be able to do these moves safely.
Right.
So no ring rust whatsoever. I felt really bad for Nyla Rose because she's supposed to be this big monster, and then it's like, oh, that's what a monster. That's what a monster or women's wrestler is supposed to look like. Especially like the first exchange is like Nyla Rose doing a slightly terrible looking forearm, and then Awesome Kong just hitting her with a back fist. And it's like, one of these women is much better than the other.
Right.
Like Nyla Rose was pretty good like later in that match. That was her only like kind of downside hit at that point, and it's like, oh no. You look really bad against Awesome Kong. But it was actually a super fun match. Real highlight. Like they had the monster versus monster spots between Awesome Kong and Nyla Rose. So far, like that's how they kind of eliminated each other. Was Nyla finally speared Awesome Kong into the steps.
Okay.
And then Britt Baker and Kylie kind of finished the match.
Okay.
Britt picks up the win, which wasn't super surprising because like she's the one who they brought to the upfronts and all that. So it's like, okay, Britt Baker's the one who they're clearly.
And they haven't announced a women's title yet either, have they?
No women's title as of yet. But I think they very much are slow playing it and want to do kind of, here's our focus. Right. This will be the focus of, right now is this title. And then I think, once they get everything established.
Make each one feel special.
Yep.
That makes sense.
Yep. And then the next match might have been my favorite match on the show.
Okay.
just because it was the best friends of Chuck Taylor and Trent Beretta with an awesome like entrance video of just like friends holding hands and dogs and sunshine and
just like happy things,
just
and
super
friendship
happy
stuff.
thing and friendship.
That's
it
awesome.
was amazing. And then Chucky and Trent come out against Jack Evans and Angelico, who Jack Evans I've been a fan of since like 2004. So I'm really happy he actually gets a big platform for finally.
Heck yeah.
And Angelico, who was he was a standout on the first or second season of Lucha Underground.
Okay.
Because, he basically dove off the temple.
Jeez.
Like he made his name doing this crazy stuff on Lucha Underground. And then, in AAA, who are, a partner with AEW, him and Jack Evans have just been tearing it up in the tag division. And it was super fun seeing that. And it was just a super fun tag match. This actually to me got a lot of benefit by the Pac match not happening.
Okay.
Because this got like 20 minutes.
So some of these matches got extra time.
Yeah, I think
they cut up. Yeah.
Because they cut the Pac match. So it's like, oh, cool.
So there's an extra like 30 minutes that, probably at least 20, 30 minutes that you get back.
Yep.
That you can spread out throughout the remainder of the show.
And I think the next two matches, so Best Friends pick up the win, and on that one, I think the next two, that match, and then the 6-woman tag, Hikira Shida, Ryo Miyazaki, Mizunami, took on Aja Kong, Emi Sakura, and Yuko Saku.
Nope. Nope. Sakazi? Nope. I don't know.
Yep. Yeah, Sakazi. I'm sorry if I butchered all of those names except for Aja Kong.
That's okay. We'll get them right eventually.
Yep. So, women's wrestling legend Aja Kong in a, huge, stage. And this was a really fun 6-woman tag. Didn't stand out. And like I said, didn't stand out crazy for me, but it's I think the only person that I was familiar with in this entire match was Aja Kong.
Right.
So it was, my roommate loved one of Aja Kong's partners though, because her entire gimmick and character is that she is basically just every trope from every anime.
Nice.
And it was irritating for me. She literally did the
nice
and all that stuff. And it's oh my God, I hate this so much. But my roommate's loving it. So it's not for me, but it worked.
Hey, it worked for somebody. They got, they hooked somebody with that.
Yeah. And then we got,
So now the meat of the card, right? That was the opening half.
Yeah. As JR would say, business is about to pick up.
Right. Right.
And it did, big time. After the tag match, it was one of the few kind of clunker moments of the whole show.
Okay.
So Best Friends win and lights go out. And everybody's like, oh, lights go out. That means a big surprise. Lights come back on. There's a tag team in the ring that I recognized and no one else did. It was a tag team called the Super Smash Bros.
Okay.
Formerly Player Uno and Player Dos. I can't remember what Player Uno's new name is. But they're a really good tag team, but because of visa issues, they haven't been in the U.S. in 3 years.
Oh.
So they're a great Canadian tag team who nobody knows. So lights go out. They beat down both teams.
Okay.
And are clearly the dominant tag team. Had some impressive moves, but the crowd was literally chanting, "Who are you?"
Oh, really?
Yeah. Oof. So it's I think, the Young, because from what I've heard, the Young Bucks are the ones booking the tag division. unsurprisingly.
The Smarks didn't even know who they were.
And it's like, yeah, I think the Young Bucks like were like, oh no, Super Smash Bros. This will be cool. And
The
they're like,
smarkiest of Smarks didn't know.
And it's like, okay. So it's like, of your 3 surprises on the show, like
that one didn't hit.
That was the one that didn't hit, but the other 2 hit really well with the Awesome Kong one.
And then the one we'll get to later.
The one we'll get to later.
So then the next match after that kind of...
this was Cody versus Dustin Rhodes. The natural Dustin Rhodes, as he was announced. Which was like cool. Like he had natural like down his like spine of his gear.
Okay. Hell yeah.
Red and black, which was a good color for what ended up happening in this match.
Yeah, apparently. This is I've seen a little bit of chunks of this match online.
This was actually like, to me, the best match of the entire show.
That doesn't surprise me.
Emotional as all get out. Like, you tell the brother versus brother story. Like, the fact like they're 17 years apart, so they're not that close, but it's like we're in the same industry. Like, we're kind of almost forced to tag together, but we don't really like each other that much. And like, let's, get this all out.
Well, when Cody came out, he came out with that sledgehammer and busted down a
very Triple H looking throne, which I didn't love that.
You didn't love it, huh?
No.
Okay.
It's like I didn't think you needed to take that shot.
Yeah, it may have been too much. It may have been. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. The crowd seemed to dig it.
Yeah. Yeah, crowd dug it, but I'm just like, do you need to go there now?
Yeah. Well, I was surprised that they blew the brother versus brother match in the opening pay. I guess it really was a reason for a lot of people to tune in, but
yeah,
I guess that is like the biggest. That's almost the biggest match on the card. Jericho Omega is a huge match.
Yeah.
I don't know. That's the Cody Dustin one might be a little bit. I don't know, just for like in the U.S. bigger because Omega's big, but he's not as big over here as well known, I think, as some people think he is.
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
I can see that because he's very much he's in like the hardcore like niche of like, okay, we know the name, but maybe haven't seen as many matches.
Yeah, you might know the name, but like, yeah, you probably haven't seen. If you've seen a match, it was probably a Omega Okada.
It was maybe an
4.
Omega Okada match, or if you look up his name, you've seen him wrestle a blow up doll or a 9-year-old girl,
right?
Because that's Kenny Omega.
Those are
that is the extremes of Kenny Omega.
That's amazing.
And they're both valid and they're both fun.
So Cody Dustin.
Yeah, Cody Dustin.
Violent.
Very violent. Brandy got involved.
Of course.
Because, of course, she did. Referee was Earl Hebner, which is hilarious when you find out what the next segment was.
Hopefully selling shirts.
Yeah. Yeah. So it was Earl Hebner as the referee. Earl Hebner tosses Brandy out after she spears Dustin, which that was right after Dustin went for the Shattered Dreams. And Cody took off the middle turnbuckle because this is what caused all the blood. Cody takes off the middle turnbuckle, drop toe holds Dustin into the exposed metal. Brandy spears him and then gets ejected. And we come back and we just see Dustin gushing. Like literally you could see the stream at points. It was like very uncomfortable. This, of course, just because it's my timing, this is when I had, just made a pizza and I'm trying to
enjoy a little food.
Enjoy some food. And it's like, Dustin Rhodes is just bleeding all over the canvas.
Like a stuck pig.
But then he pulls off a code red.
Wow.
Like...
My roommate I hope they were chanting, you still got it after that. Jeez.
I think they were just stunned.
Yeah, that is.
Because, like, I just wasn't expecting it. It's like, he kind of set him up and was like, is he setting up for, like, a power bomb? And then, like, he jumps over and does the code red. And it's like, what? It's like I told my roommate, it's like, this is like I had a similar feeling the first time I saw John Cena do that.
Oh, okay.
You know, it's like, wait, what?
Yeah.
I wasn't expecting that.
Didn't see that one coming, did you?
Yep. So then, yeah, really brutal match. Blood everywhere. Cody hits the Din's Fire, the vertebraker move that he's been using.
Okay.
And then doesn't cover Dustin and picks him up and hits him with the Crossroads.
Oh, dang.
Because he wanted to hit him with the Crossroads.
Right.
Pins him. Then Cody gets on the mic. And, well, there was a little lull. Cody leaves. You can see Dustin, because this was promoted as One Last Ride.
Right.
You see Dustin starting to untie his boots.
Okay.
Clearly, he's going to, like, start untying them, leave them in the ring. To signify, like, he's retiring. And Cody sees that, comes back in the ring, is like, you're not going out like that. I have a match July 13th or whenever Fight for the Fallen is.
Yeah. And
it's an open contract. Me and a partner of my choosing against the Young Bucks. And it was very similar to, and actually I was watching this right before we started recording. It was very similar to Dusty's promo when he asked Dustin to be his partner.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And Dusty ends like, you know, I've neglected you for so long, and I'm sorry for that. And like, you needed a partner when, and I was in Hollywood, but no more. I will be your partner, and you know, because you're my son, basically, we don't need a handshake. Like, all I need is a hug and a kiss, like, to say, like, you'll be my partner. And Cody turns that a little bit, is very similar or statements, but he's like, I don't need a partner. I don't need a friend. I need my older brother.
Oh, yeah.
And then they hug in the middle of the ring. And so, yeah, it's going to be Young Bucks versus Cody and Dustin at Fight for the Fallen, which
should be a good match.
Which will be super cool.
Yeah, that should be a good match.
And then right after that, and why I said it was funny that Bret Hart was, or there I gave it away.
Earl Hebner.
Earl Hebner was the referee. The next segment, they introduce the AEW title, and the person bringing it out is Bret Hart.
Which my roommate was there for the screw job.
Yeah, and it's like, my roommate's like, is this the first time they've been in the same arena since the screw job? And it's like, I think it might be, like, that we know of at least.
Right.
And it's like, oh, that's weird. Because I think Earl was gone by the time Bret came back and did his stuff.
Yep.
So it's like, oh, weird. It might be. That's really weird.
That's crazy.
This was a lot of fun. So it was Bret introducing the title. He brings out Hangman. Hangman's about to start talking, and he gets cut off by MJF.
Oh, that's when MJF comes back out.
That's when MJF comes back out and starts just being MJF. He's so awesome, like, on the mic. You just hate him.
Yeah, he's good. I saw him being the Elite a lot leading up to it when Cody was like bringing him around, and he would like, Cody would go up and do something, and he would like get all sassy with people.
Yep. He basically said, because Hangman Page is nursing the leg injury and everything, he's like, oh, look, Hangman's a horse. Awesome. But you know what you do to a horse when it's got a bum leg?
Put
you
it down.
Take it in the back and you shoot it in the face. It's like, jeez. And then he's like, look out, Brett, somebody's behind you.
Oh, yeah, because Brett got attacked.
To which that was the turning point where I think Brett started liking this kid.
That's
because like he's just looking up, like smiling, like.
That's funny.
And it was either like Brett's like I like this kid, or I hate him and I'm just gonna be nice on camera.
Jeez.
And because it's Bret Hart, you don't know which one's which.
But
MJF gets cut off by Jungle Boy and Jimmy Havoc. To which JR, in seeing Jimmy Havoc for the first time, because he wasn't on the JR wasn't on the Battle
Pre-show,
Royal pre-show. It's like, wow, that guy just looks like a walking death match. And like, and I think Excalibur was like,
that's pretty good.
That's accurate.
That's an accurate statement. That's a very accurate statement.
So they beat up MJF, go him through the crowd, and Brett poses with the title and all that fun stuff.
Nice.
So, but that was also the opportunity for them to change the canvas because it was so bloody.
Did they change the canvas?
They did. They did change the canvas because it was super, super bloody. Like, if you saw the clips of the main event, that's because Omega broke his nose and was also bleeding. But, yeah, so then the match after that was for the AAA tag team titles held by the Young Bucks. The Young Bucks versus the Lucha Bros, Pentagon and Phoenix. Such a good match.
Yeah.
Like, so good. It was really great having Excalibur there. Because Excalibur very much took JR took the lead on Cody versus Dustin.
Right.
But because of all the emotion and everything and like that. But Excalibur very much took the lead on this.
Okay.
Because it was the Young Bucks on Being the Elite have been saying they wanted, like, they've got these new moves.
Okay.
That they keep pulling out. And I don't know if they didn't debut a new move or if it was kind of a red herring and it's like, no, we're not going to actually debut new moves. Like, they're new to us, but it's all moves that their rivals had done.
Okay.
So, like, they did, and I missed the move that it actually was, but they did one move and then pointed to their hands because it was a Motor City Machine Guns move.
Okay.
And then they hit the double team package pile driver, which was a Kevin Steen move.
Okay.
And then I'm like, Pentagon, I think, was in the corner, and Matt comes up, or Phoenix was in the corner. Matt comes up and hits him with a haluva kick.
Oh, really?
And I'm like, what? Wait. Did they just hit him with a haluva kick?
They got some new moves.
And like Excalibur like keeps pointing at us. I was like, oh, they're using moves from their old rivals to take on the new one. And yeah, so it was haluva kick followed up with the turnbuckle brainbuster, which, like, just in case you were like, oh, I mean, it kind of looked like an El Generico move, but maybe not. And then turnbuckle brainbuster, and it's like, oh, they're definitely doing El Generico stuff. Okay. But then Pentagon breaks Matt Jackson's arm.
Oof.
He does his arm break spot. And so Matt picks him up with one hand into the tombstone, and they hit the Meltzer driver. And they win. And then they win, so...
And unfortunately, both Lucha Brothers got hurt in that match.
Yep. It's not great. Hopefully they're only out for a little bit.
They had to cancel, I think, a bunch of shows already because they're booked like all over the world.
Oh, I know. They're booked here.
Like everywhere. And they had to cancel. I think they next wrestle for AEW, I think, in August, I want to say.
June 29th. They're at Fyter Fest.
Oh, really?
June 29th, which hopefully... I hope it does, because otherwise I'm not going to be happy, because Pentagon is here the night before.
Oof.
June 28th, he is supposed to be wrestling for First Wrestling at WrestlePalooza.
At the First Ave show?
At First Ave.
Oof. All right, let's hope speedy recoveries for both Lucha
speedy
Bros.
Recoveries. And then the main event happens, and it was...
Also, the final three were literally Cody, Bucks, and then Jericho and Omega?
Yep.
Wow. Okay.
Yep.
I mean, it's your promotion. Like, it's your brainchild. I mean, it should be, I guess, right?
I mean, like who else on this card were you going to put?
Nobody. They are the names at this point, except for the surprise at the end. They are the names at this point.
Yeah. But I think, and very much it feels like Kenny's, I don't know who laid out this card, but I think whoever did was very much following... It's not like a WWE style pay-per-view of like where you have that buffer match. Like if anything, the buffer was the segment revealing the title.
Right.
but it's like you don't have that random like women's match before the main event. Like this is very much a New Japan style of big match, big match, big match.
Right.
Like we're going
instead of trying to spread it out. Yeah.
It's like it's gonna be this huge crescendo, which
like if Mania would have literally went like Kofi, Brock, Seth, Becky Lynch, Ronda. Like if it would have been that instead of literally having them at the beginning, middle, and end of the show on a 7-8 hour show, whatever. Okay, so Kenny Omega, Chris Jericho, the Alpha versus the Omega, number 2.
The first one was better.
Was it?
Yeah, this was a lot of fun. They had a couple callbacks to the first match, like they did the table spot of Jericho going for something, getting the table flipped on him, then Kenny just double stomping the table.
It was Wrestle Kingdom 2 years ago, right? That they wrestled?
Wrestle Kingdom, 11, right? Yeah. Because this one was 13. So.
Because Omega wrestled Tanahashi.
Yeah, this past year,
one. And it would have been Jericho before that.
Yep.
And Okada the year before that.
Yep.
Okay.
I think the first one like peaked more.
Okay.
Like I think it had like more emotion going into it, weirdly enough. Even though like they've done a really good job with this feud, but it very much feels like, okay, this is what we're gonna do. But Jericho's got his new finisher, the Judas Ascending, which is just a spinning like back elbow, and it looks vicious.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
But yeah, Jericho broke Omega's nose.
Doing that?
No, where like the beginning of the match. So Omega wrestled most of that match with a broken nose, apparently. So that's where the extra blood came from for all of you who saw the end of the show.
How long is that? A broken nose could put you out for a little while. Well, you might have to wrestle with a mask on.
You know,
one of those like
Fighter, like the next show is Fighter Fest, which is the end of June, and that's his next like real booking. So
who's he fighting then?
It is undetermined. Because it was supposed to be Kenny and the Bucks, so you know the original Elite,
right?
Taking on the Lucha Bros and Pac.
Oh, right.
So
that's technically still being advertised.
It's still being advertised. I have a feeling it's going to be somebody else, given how the show ended.
Interesting.
But yeah, so that's so he's got like a month to recover, which he'll be fine. But really good match. Omega went for the one-winged angel a couple times, but obviously didn't hit it. And then Jericho hits him with the Judas Ascending elbow and picks up the win. And I was kind of shocked by that.
I was really surprised by that.
Weirdly enough, my roommate and I were doing predictions before, and we basically thought all the Elite guys except for Kenny were going to lose. Like, we thought Kenny was going to be the one to win, and then everybody else was going to lose.
They reversed that.
And it's like, nope, everybody else won. And Kenny
comes out taking L. That's weird, too, because I guess you could you can build him from here, though.
You can build him, yeah.
Like, you're going to have to, because now Jericho will take on Hangman Page for the title at some point.
Jericho will take on Hangman Page.
You think at All Out?
All Out, which I don't remember when it was announced.
September,
was it between? Well, when it was, but like I don't remember when during the show the video played.
Because All Out will come after
August,
they start their weekly show, right?
Before, I believe.
Really?
Yep.
God, wouldn't you want it like right after, like maybe like 2 or 3 weeks after you start that, just to literally build. Like, you could probably get so many more buy-ins if you did that. I don't know. It just doesn't make sense to me. Business-wise, for me, it doesn't make sense.
Unless they're going to try and build up to, like, a big year-end show.
They'll probably have to have one more before then. Maybe. I don't know. I mean, who knows? All right, so then... So Jericho picks up the win.
Yep, Jericho picks up the win. And if you've seen online a lot... since the show sold out, he's been saying, well, AEW needs to thank me.
Right.
Because you guys say you sold out the show. No, I sold out the show.
Right.
And then he wins this match and says, you need to thank me. I told you I was going to win, and this promotion is going to be built around me, and you need to thank me. And then out comes Jon Moxley.
Yep.
From the crowd.
That was awesome. Dean Ambrose, to those who aren't familiar from WWE, but you are if you're watching this video.
Yeah.
The Mox comes out, hits Jericho with a DDT, right?
Yep, hits him with the double arm DDT, then hits, and this was a funny thing. So I wasn't able to watch the show live. I caught the replay later, but this got spoiled for me, but it didn't fully get spoiled for me.
Okay.
So the video I saw was just a minute and a half of Moxley coming out, hitting Jericho, then hitting referee Paul Turner.
Okay.
And then it cut off.
Okay.
So I'm like, okay, he's in AEW. That's cool. Might feud with Jericho. So then I'm watching it with my roommate. And like the show doesn't end. I was like, okay, well, I saw like him posing on the poker chips. So, like he's probably just going to go up there. And then him and Kenny get into it.
Oh, yeah.
And it's like, oh, this is what he's going to do. Okay.
Yep.
All right. I'm in for this. Like, I'm in for a Jon Moxley, Kenny Omega feud.
Are they, you think they'll fight it all out?
I think the singles match would be all out. I think he's going to be the partner for the 6-man.
Or they might just redo the 6-man for the Lucha Brothers.
Yep.
Depending upon. That'll be interesting because now Moxley, right, like the day after Moxley shows up in AEW, New Japan comes out and says, oh, those vignettes we've been showing about the dude in the bar carving the thing who says juice time's up June 5th. Oh, yep. That's Jon Moxley.
Yeah, that's Jon Moxley. And last night, New Japan had a press conference with Juice, and he's like, well, you were the one who was calling me out. You're going to be here June 5th. Let's have a match.
Yep. So now you're getting Jon Moxley versus Juice Robinson June 5th for the Dominion's right around then too, right? Like a few days later.
Couple days later, yeah.
So is that just like a Kirk and Hall show?
No.
Is that the end of the Super Junior?
It's June 5th is the finals of the Super Juniors.
Weights, and then
and like this is smart on New Japan's. Like I think that show is going to sell out no matter what.
Oh yeah.
But it's in Sumo Hall, which
you've guaranteed to sell out
it's
now.
a 10,000 seat venue.
Right.
So it's like, okay, maybe we'll need a little bit more of a push.
Well, it is just Best of the Super Junior Weights finale because there's not. I mean, you don't have Jay White on the card. You don't have Okada.
You don't have Okada's not scheduled for a match, but it is the return of Tanahashi taking on Jay White.
Is Kotobushi and Naito, are they fight? They're at Dominion, right?
They're fighting at Dominion, which is later in June. I can't remember the exact
So since we're going to talk about New Japan, Best of the Super Junior Weights has been going on. It's been going on for at least the last 6 months. I joke. It's only been like the last 3 weeks. I don't know.
It's been 11 days. It's been 11 shows.
I did not understand the undertaking that trying to follow Japanese wrestling was. I honestly I thought, and people complain WWE's too much, right? There's too much WWE. Yeah. I can't follow all that. That's lightweight stuff. All right. You want to step up to the big boy plate, step up to New Japan.
Yeah. Follow a round robin tournament.
There is more matches. There is more. I thought this dude lost. Why is he fighting again? Because it's a round robin, right?
Yep, it's a round robin.
So you're like, okay, and then you just get match after match, and then there's these tag matches, and the 6-mans, and then there's singles matches, and it's all over the place. It's great. It's fun.
Yeah, it's great.
But there's no Sonata hasn't been in anything lately.
Nope, it's all been the juniors.
It's all Super Juniors.
They've all sold out.
They've been killing it though.
Happy.
Seeing Ospreay, seeing was it La Phasma? No.
El Phantasmo.
Thank you.
Yep.
El Phantasmo, who's Bullet Club, right?
Yep, he's Bullet Club.
Who else is some other big names in there?
Bandito from Ring of Honor and
one of the best matches. Sho and Yo have both been putting on.
Sho and Yo.
Sho looks really good. Who did he fight Sho in the opening round?
Sho and Shingo was
yes,
awesome.
Yes, that was a great match.
So for you WWE fans who might be checking this out, basically
any casuals,
and any casuals. I guess you got to be a little more, for this analogy, you got to be a little more hardcore, but they always joke that so basically Best of Super Juniors would be a pretty good equivalent to like 205 Live. Like it's that style.
Yep.
And basically Sho and Shingo are what you refer to as like power juniors. Like they're the power guys, but they're smaller. In WWE, that would be like your guys like Buddy Murphy and Tony Nese.
Yep.
So basically take Buddy Murphy and Tony Nese if they just really like to throw a bunch of lariats and beat the crap out of each other. That's what you get with Sho versus Shingo.
That's a good match.
It was so good. Shingo he came into the company in November.
Okay.
And currently he has lost tag matches, but he's never been the one to be pinned.
You think he'll win it?
I think so.
So that one dude hasn't come back yet.
Hiromu has not come back yet, and Hiromu is also a stablemate of Shingo's, which is interesting.
Okay.
And basically Hiromu Takahashi's career rival is Dragon Lee, who's the current champion.
Yep.
He's
taken some L's.
He has, but it's been like, has it just been Shingo?
Didn't Ishimori?
Ishimori beat him, and then Shingo beat him.
Yeah. Dude, are Shingo and Ishimori gonna? That could be a.
That's, I think, on one of the final nights.
Oh, that's gonna be good stuff.
Gonna be good
stuff.
That'll be good. Ishimori might be like slightly injured and is just kind of pushing through the tournament, but he's so good that like he can do it, and especially against Shingo, I think it'll be. And that's just that's just B block.
Right. Then you got A block.
A block.
So I'm telling you, like Big Boy Plate is the New Japan stuff. If you follow it day in and day out, because there's so many days, and then you got so many. It's exhausting.
There's 2 10-person blocks.
Yep.
I'm not gonna, because I know I will forget somebody.
We're not gonna break it all the way down for you.
Yeah. But like, A block is, you've got your guys like Will Ospreay, El Phantasmo, who up until 2 nights ago was undefeated, including a win over Ospreay,
right?
Which was an interesting move. But it actually was kind of cool because Ospreay, he beat Ospreay, but then is getting very, very overconfident. And I think that got him way too cocky after beating Ospreay.
Okay.
And then 2 nights later, he loses to Rocky Romero. And then he gets hugely upset by Yo. And it's like, oh, whoa. And now they're tied.
Showing Yo.
So like him and Ospreay are tied. So like Ospreay needs to win through the rest of the tournament, and so does Phantasmo.
Yeah, it's like this point system.
Yeah,
it's very, 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 very. If you know how round robins and point systems work, then you understand what we're talking about. If you don't, just look into it, or just go watch some New Japan stuff, because it's enjoyable.
You get
and it's fun.
Yeah, you get 2 points for a win, 0 points for a loss, and 1 point if it goes to either a double pin or a time limit draw.
Right. And then you got Dominion coming up for New Japan. So there's a lot of good stuff happening over in New Japan. And then, so I guess we can finish up with some WWE stuff. We'll circle back around. And then we'll just anything we want to close with. But so WWE, Money in the Bank happened.
Yep, Money in the Bank happened.
I thought was a really good pay-per-view. Like I thought it was a really good pay-per-view. I really liked the AJ Seth match. I really liked the KO Kofi match. I really liked both of the ladder matches. Except for the winner. The winner of the men's ladder match is what soured. I love what they did with Becky. I love Bayley cashing in. I loved all that.
Yeah, Bayley cashing in was great.
All that. To have Brock run out and pretty much like take the briefcase when he wasn't even in the match, and all those dudes killed themselves for 30 minutes.
Yeah,
is a big slap in the face to those other six men. right?
Yeah.
Or 7 men.
Seven,
Yeah.
yeah.
Either way, I understand why they do it. I mean, they're in scramble mode over there, and you can tell, and
Yep.
it's surprising and kind of sad. Especially being like a WWE guy, like I'm like, well, at least I got NXT. Like I can hold on to that forever.
You got Takeover.
I got
this
Takeover
week.
25 coming up. Adam Cole and Gargano again. I got lots of good stuff to hold on to. Velveteen Dream versus Tyler Breeze.
That'll be fun.
There's gonna be some amazing
that
matches.
Four-way ladder match.
The 4-way ladder match.
Great.
Yes, there's gonna be so much goodness.
They announced
25.
something else too. They announced the Riddle match, but I can't remember what it was.
Riddle is taking on Roderick Strong. No.
Oh yeah.
Roderick Strong. Yeah, Riddle's taking on Roderick Strong.
Which is like,
that's gonna be a great match.
That lineup,
Yeah.
like
So
that's crazy.
Who's Shayna Baszler fighting?
I don't think they've said.
Do they have a women's match yet? No.
Yeah, I
so
don't
you
think
got
they've announced it.
the
It
NXT
probably gets
Championship match,
announced
the fatal
tonight,
4-way ladder match for the tag belts. You got Riddle versus Strong. You got Velveteen Dream and
Breeze.
and Breeze. So you just need one more. 5.
Yeah,
they always have 5.
So,
so you'll have
it'll be a
women's match. And then good stuff. But outside of that, Brock's your new beast in the bank, which coming out with the boombox and the dancing, I got to admit, I liked it. I liked it. It got old real quick, and they can't lean on this new character. But the Brock Party T-shirts are just, I mean, it's pretty good stuff.
Yeah,
I hated him winning it, but I like what they're doing with him now that he has it. Right?
Yeah. Well, like the moment he won it, I just wish Mustafa Ali was starting to climb the ladder, not
sitting at the top,
about to unhook the briefcase. But then again, what would you do if you were on the top of the ladder and you hear Brock Lesnar's music?
I would have unhooked it, got down, and run away.
Yeah,
like I would have done that. I wouldn't have just like waited for him to get there and then knock me off. I would have run away with the briefcase.
Yeah,
and then just dodged him for a while. Like I don't know.
And they could have done like they've done in the past, like somebody unhooking it, but then like they weren't able to like get off the ladder. Kind of that crap, but
that's what he should have done. Is like he should have had it and then caught him and then just pulled it out of his hand and like threw him to the ground and been like, now it's mine.
Yeah,
and then they'd be like, well, it's Brock Lesnar, so you tell him no. Yeah, I would have been more okay with that. No, I would. Either way. Yeah. But then, hey, you know what? We got the new WWE 24/7 belt, so we have nothing to be mad about. Did you see the god awful? The green doesn't even bother me. It's the plate
that looks like a record.
That says 24/7.
Yeah.
Like, I don't understand how you could have. I mean, anything would have been better. There's a fake story going around. Like there's a 2-year-old that designed the belt or whatever. Like a second grader. Here's the second grader that's designed the new 24/7 championship belt. I really don't think it's a real story. I haven't read it because I'm pretty sure it's not real.
Too far off.
But it's pretty bad. It's a bad title. But I like the idea of it.
I like the idea of it. I've been talking with a couple people. Like we thought, I actually got to make a joke about it on commentary on Saturday, so that was fun. Because my commentary partner, I was talking about how somebody was a 2-time champion, and he thought I said 10-time champion. I'm like, yeah, no, I mean, for the little bits of tag titles, we're 24/7.
Were you doing commentary at the wrestling show?
Yeah, at Pro Wrestling Battleground. And it's like, and yeah, I just made a joke about the
24/7 belt. That's only if you. I mean, that's the best way to win it. Be a 10-time champion though. Is just to win the 24/7 belt sometimes. I like R-Truth having it and running around with it.
I was gonna say I like R-Truth. If you have not seen, go back and watch. Search for Joey Ryan, DDT heavy metal weight. DDT has a heavy metal weight. Open weight, heavy metal weight Iron Man matchup title that has had over 1,000 holders. Number 1,000 was the belt itself.
The belt hold itself?
Because it was DDT, which is where Kenny Omega and Kota Ibushi had the crazy matches with like the 9-year-old and the blow up doll. And so like the doll has won that belt like 5 times. But it was Joey Ryan, weirdly enough. Joey Ryan, when he won the title, started posting all these random viral videos.
Okay.
And it was him defending or then losing the title.
That very long title.
Because this was before Candice LeRae signed with NXT. He lost it to Candice in a dream. Candice pinned him in a dream, so he's like, well, I guess you're the champion now. He lost it, and I was here for this one. He lost it to Scott Hall.
Really?
Yeah, he lost it to Scott Hall, and then Colt Cabana beat Scott Hall because he made him read a piece of paper that said, I quit. So, like, there's so much potential on just stupid stuff you can do with this title that they haven't capitalized on yet, but I think with a guy like R-Truth,
it's got the potential. The potential's there. And the social media stuff, you can do a lot of things, you know, so fingers crossed. It looks stupid, but I hope they do good things with it.
I hope they quit because everybody's now joking that I saw on WWE Creative Humor posted last night. It's like, this title seems like it's booked by Benny Hill. Because like that's all they've been doing is like, people have just been chasing R-Truth.
Yep.
And it's like, okay, stop just chasing him. Do funny stuff. Like,
right. Make it more entertaining. Yeah. And not,
I love the fact that, like, on Twitter, R-Truth just keeps calling it the European title. He just keeps calling it the European Championship.
They should have brought back. That's the one they should have brought back. They should. I'm fine with this though. It's because everyone thought it was gonna be the hardcore belt, which it kind of is, but it's not. It's like a tweener belt because they could do hardcore matches with it if they want. They can do whatever they want with it. That's the nice thing about this belt is literally. But will they do anything good with it? Who knows? Yeah. Who knows? How you been liking the Bray Wyatt stuff now that he finally has the Slipknot mask?
I just want something to actually happen.
Yeah, who's his first? How is he gonna get a feud?
Yeah, that's the thing. It's like my only problem with it is like, okay, how does this translate to the ring? Right.
Now because it's great, but now you got to make that jump from like this to this. And then is he like the kids? Sometimes he come out like it is like Finn Balor. Sometimes he comes out the kids entertainer. Sometimes he comes out this demon guy. Like there's a lot that they need to flush out with it. But I do like some of what they're doing. Unfortunately, at the end of the day, this is still a Vince McMahon product, and it can all just be blown up in an instant because he gets bored with it or he finds something stupid or funny and then he runs with that. Well, and that's where the problem lies. And that's like, as much as you liked or disliked, Double or Nothing, or however you feel about Double or Nothing or AEW in general, whether you feel like it's the new coming and you can't wait to never watch the WWE program again, or you're like, why even bother? It's just another indie that won't last 5 years. Regardless of where you're at with it, what you should be at least intrigued with is the fact that you're at least going to have options now.
Yep,
a legitimate second option. That's not. I think New Japan's becoming that.
Yeah.
As they're starting to put more and more on their English commentary.
Yeah.
But that's literally as of this year when they've really started pushing. I mean, they would do like a handful of the Super Junior. They'd maybe do the final nights in English, the final 2 nights before.
Yeah. Whereas now
they've done every single night has an English commentary.
They've done every single night.
Yep.
From I don't know for sure, but so Kevin Kelly is basically full time.
Yep.
They, from the sounds of it, actually, Chris Charlton, who's the historian and translator.
Okay.
He, I think, is close to full time now.
Yeah.
Like he's doing every show, because he was a teacher.
Okay.
And he said he's no longer working at that school as often, and because he's working more often for New Japan, and like he's super beneficial. and like I like his chemistry with Kevin Kelly, and then it's so funny how it's always just seems like it's a random third person,
Rocky Romero or Colt Cabana or some dude from England or something. You know what I mean?
Or like Juice Robinson's been sitting in for the last half.
I like that they'll pull up anybody because then it's really a 2-man booth, and that third person really isn't there for anything but just whatever they want. You know what I mean? Like facilitate whatever need it needs to for that show.
And it seems like because Kevin Kelly is so good at his job, the fact that like all of those third people end up seeming like they're pretty good because Kevin knows when to segue to them.
But having AEW here in the States as a second viable option, not a Ring of Honor where you have no idea what channel it's on, not an Impact where, again, you don't know what time, where to find it. The AEW it's got to make WWE at least try a little bit harder. Yeah, they can't just sit back and put out whatever they want, because Fox has pretty much said they need to hit $3 million a week for SmackDown to be on Fox, or else they'll cancel it. And right now, I don't think they can guarantee $3 million a week. They can't. They can barely hit $3 million between the two shows right now. So they're going to have to do something to get that audience back. So
yeah. Well, I was going to say, like, basically Money in the Bank is the last WWE pay-per-view that they can be complacent.
Yeah.
Like, from here on, it's like, and AEW keeps saying, it's like, we're not competition, we're an alternative.
Yep.
But that's the thing. It's like, when you have an alternative to go to, you become your competition.
Yeah, it's not a war, but it's definitely heating up. It's it's a cold war at this point. You know what I mean? It's all like subliminal shots, and no one's coming up. I mean, although there was some not so subtle messages on Double or Nothing with smashing the throne.
Yeah, smashing the throne.
There's just some stuff. Moxley's promo that he cut a promo like in the backstage that's going around online.
Which was very funny actually, because one of the big lines was it's a paradigm shift, but one of the other lines that he says right before it, which is hilarious when a Shane McMahon promo happens on Raw, Moxley says, "We're done reading history books. We're writing them now."
Right.
And then Shane McMahon talks about, it's like, well, read your history.
Right.
It's like, it's not the week to do that.
That's because WWE, they lean on what they were. And, AEW trying to make something new. And a lot of wrestling fans want something new. They just want something different. Here's the thing. Vince McMahon wants to do entertainment. Yep. He doesn't really like the wrestling aspect of it. Where, like, your fans wanted that in the 90s. That's why the Attitude Era is not as great as people say it is. Yeah. And it's not as bad as others say it is. It's kind of somewhere in the middle, right? Because, like, that's what the people wanted at that time. People want now is great in-ring action. Yep. Decent characters.
It's like characters.
Believable, real-ish stories.
Yep.
It's not a hard formula, but Vince is so reluctant to really give them the wrestling that they want. That's why Raw last night, perfect example. What, hour and a half into the show before you got your first real match?
Yeah.
The Shane part where he just beat up the Samoan dude who is Roman's cousin or whatever, that wasn't really a match with him and Drew. So, I mean, it literally is like an hour and a half of a 3-hour show and you have no wrestling. That directly leads, feeds into the problem that WWE has. Is like, it's a 3-hour show. You have a packed roster.
Yeah.
There should be great matches all the time. When we talk about match of the week or match of, whatever, it should almost always be a WWE show just based on sheer volume.
Yeah, well, and like the fact that they have probably the best roster they have had in years right now.
They have a better roster than they had in the Attitude Era.
Yep. But, like, then for some reason, you have the best roster, or kind of on, like, in some ways, the best roster on the planet right now. But the guys who you're focusing on, like that 4-way elimination.
Ziggler coming back.
Ziggler coming back. Ziggler when he's motivated, he's really good.
Yeah.
Like, he's very much like very similar to Randy Orton. When he's motivated, there are few on this planet that are better. But he's very often not motivated.
Well, he's a fill-in because KO said he won't go to Saudi Arabia.
Yep.
So they're like, well, which is I was shocked that he came back 2 weeks ago. And now he's getting a title shot in Saudi Arabia, which they just keep calling it Super Showdown. They don't even say where it is. They're like Super Showdown in 2 weeks.
They're not mentioning the word Saudi Arabia,
which is just
WWE.
crazy. Yeah. Like, that's so bad.
If you're gonna take all their money,
you gotta just, you know what, wear it like a badge of honor.
But like, so I wasn't gonna criticize Ziggler. I was gonna criticize, like, you've got, like, there was a 4-way elimination for the number one contenders for the Universal title, and it ends up with The Miz. And, well, I mean, the 4-way in itself wasn't great.
Miz, Strowman, Corbin, Lashley. Who won?
Corbin. Oh. So it's going to be Corbin versus Rollins.
But that's at Super Showdown, right?
At Super Showdown.
Oh, so that's, I mean, really, that doesn't, it's not SummerSlam.
Yeah. But that being said, the best match on the show last night wasn't even the main event, even though the main event was pretty good. Cesaro and Ricochet was awesome.
That's like the second week in a row, isn't it?
Yeah.
That they put on, like, you know, it's crazy. Okay, so I've been getting really pissed. Hulu, I record, half the reason I have Hulu Live TV is so I can record Raw and SmackDown and watch them at my leisure, okay? My DVR has been not only losing the show, it's been losing it, but still keeping the hours locked away. So I have 2 SmackDowns and one Raw. So we're 2, 4, let's say 7 hours that I can't delete, nor can I watch because of some glitch that keeps happening in my Hulu. So, and not that I've been wanting to watch the stuff they've been putting out lately, but still, like,
there's a few things here and there that have been really good.
But I even tweeted at Hulu, and Hulu was like, well, you can watch them on our service. And SmackDown's fine. It's like pretty much all of SmackDown.
All of it,
what they do with Raw, though, is they take it and they make it an hour and a half video. Okay,
they cut about half. Of
Guess what they've cut? Guess what they've cut out in lieu of, like, a moment with Bliss or a Michael Cole segment or something that I don't need. They'll cut out the Cesaro match. They'll cut out Cesaro Ricochet. Well, it was last week. Last week, I wanted to watch it because I watched part of it. Then I went to do something, and then I, like, backed out of it. I went back in to rewatch it.
Yeah,
it was gone. So I went to watch it on the replay. Fast forward to, like, where I knew it wasn't there. And then it went to a new segment. I was like, ugh. I don't know. That's just my rant for the show. Is Hulu, get your stuff figured out with wrestling?
Yeah,
damn it, man.
And that's the thing. Like, you'll get these matches. Like your Ricochet versus Cesaro, which the last 2 weeks have been great. Last week on SmackDown, you had Andrade versus Ali, which was fantastic.
Didn't get to watch it.
But it's like okay, cool, and we're gonna make the show revolve around Roman Reigns and Baron Corbin, and
there's so much bad surrounding such little amounts of good that it's hard to, like, it's hard at times. It is. So, I mean, I don't know. Let us know what you thought, though, in, like, the comments below about, like, how you like Double or Nothing. You know, are you super excited for AEW in the fall on weekly TV? You know, have you been watching Best of the Super Juniors? What do you think about New Japan? Or if you haven't and you're going to get into it and you're looking for somewhere to start, ask us some questions in the comments because we'll answer them when I see them eventually. You got any closing thoughts? Anything final?
Just closing thoughts. And it kind of goes back to Double or Nothing. If you're a, like, hardcore, like, wrestling fan, like, not meaning the style more than super following it, AEW is crazy right now. Like, if you think about it, because they've got, like, Tommy Dreamer's loosely associated. So you got your hardcore legend there. Now you've got Moxley. You've got Jimmy Havoc, who's nuts. Joey Janela, who's nuts. And soon to be debuting at Fyter Fest, Darby Allin, who might be crazier than all of them. Which, actually, that's a recommendation. If anybody's got, like, the Viceland app, They just started a new series called The Wrestlers.
Okay.
It's punk rock, like, lead singer is like the host, and he's going around. He's a huge wrestling fan, and this was filmed probably about 2 years ago.
Okay.
So he's filming during one of, like, the Evolve, like, summer tour. So it was Evolve back when they still had, like, Zack Sabre Jr. and Drew Galloway, now Drew McIntyre. Matt Riddle was still there. Keith Lee was still there. But they're very much focused on the feud between... they focused on Darby Allin, Austin Theory, a little bit of Ethan Page, and Fred Yehi were, like, the guys they concentrated on, and Gabe Sapolsky himself, who's the booker and, like, owner of Evolve, who now works for WWE.
Okay.
He's a consultant, technically, for NXT, but he works at the Performance Center and helps in the creative stuff for NXT now. And it's showing that Evolve show, and that Evolve show, like, has the crazy death matches between Darby Allin and Ethan Page.
Oh, okay.
Like, a couple of the spots were Ethan Page. It's all Ethan Page just beating up Darby Allin, because Darby's like 5'7", maybe, really skinny. He's jacked, but he's really skinny. And then Ethan Page is one of the few guys on the indies who's actually tall. So he's like 6'3" or 6'4".
Okay.
And, like, I mean, he basically kind of looks like he's a former, like, quarterback almost. Like, he's a big dude. Like, he's a big dude. I can finally say, because he's been more open. He's an awesome dude too. Like, he's been on a bunch of First Wrestling shows, and he's super great. But he's, like, his character very much like MJF. He's just a dick.
Nice.
Like, as an actual character.
Okay. Yeah.
So that's why for so long I'm like, dude, he's like one of the nicest guys I've met in the locker room, but his character's a jerk. Like, let's not point that out. But now he's doing a vlog and showing like, behind the scenes stuff. So he's like, okay, it's cool. Like, Ethan's great.
You can break kayfabe a little bit.
Yeah. But, like, it's all Ethan Page beating up Darby Allin. Like, he hits him with a shovel.
Oh.
Like a spaded shovel too, not like a snow one.
Oof.
Which really screwed him up, and, like, Ethan didn't want to do it, and Darby's like, no, do it. And Ethan was right, because he, like, tore something in Darby's elbow when he hit it. But one of the spots that actually, like, was really cool visual that didn't lead to at least as many injuries, because it was a body bag match.
Okay.
So, because, you know,
you gotta, like, put you gotta put them in a body bag and zip them up, pretty much.
Yep. You know, it's super indie, so, you know, they can't, you know, afford a casket. So it was a body bag match instead. A lot easier. Works. Well, I think it was right after their body bag match.
Okay.
So they brought back the body bag. Ethan throws him in the body bag and then throws thumbtacks in it, and then picks up the body bag and power bombs him. It was super gross. But even, like, Gabe Sapolsky's like, that was their idea. I didn't like it, but they said they wanted to do it, so go for it. It's like, okay. But yeah, that's on Viceland, and it's free to watch, so it's like an hour episode. So it was really cool.
Check it out.
Yeah.
Check it out. Anything to plug? Knocked Out Films?
Knocked Out Films. I'm doing a bunch of events in June.
TSL War?
TSL War on the 21st. Before that...
21st? 23rd?
21st, I think.
Sometime in June.
Yeah, it's Friday the 21st.
I thought it was Saturday.
No, it's Friday.
Okay, never mind. Friday the 21st.
Yep. Friday the 21st. And this weekend, I've actually got 2 shows.
Really?
First Wrestling is doing Open Street Slam, which is right in front of the Up Down Barcade in Uptown.
Yep.
And are also doing Grand Old Days in St. Paul.
Okay.
At the same time.
So you're gonna be 2 places at once.
It's gonna suck.
And
like the wrestling is gonna be great.
And in St. Paul.
Yep. The wrestling's gonna be great. The travel between the two is gonna be fun to coordinate.
So are you just
I'm
shooting
doing like
pictures?
half show, half the half the show at one location, and then run into the other.
Just
location.
for shooting it.
Just
photography.
Shooting it. Yep.
Okay. Right on.
There will be a bunch of wrestlers that will be. So they'll be wrestling the whole time. It's from like noon to 4 or noon to 5. At both locations, and there will be wrestling the whole time, and some other guys are also hitting up both shows. But yeah, they'll be basically wrestling every minute for those 4 hours. So it'll be fun.
Yeah, go check it out if you're in the Twin Cities.
Yep, that and then
hopefully it won't be 40 degrees and raining.
Yeah, and then WrestlePalooza 15 on the 28th. Hopefully featuring Pentagon.
Fingers crossed.
Yeah. On the 28th, I'd say get your tickets, but they're sold out. So
can't do that.
Yeah,
can't do that. Well, you know where to find me. Base my banner all over the place. Like, share, subscribe. I'm Thor. That's Kyle. We'll see you next time we do one of these. Deuces.